So welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Real People podcast, and this is our episode, Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ, and we're here in the house, and we're living our best life, and we got a guest today who's living his best life. But before we get to our guest, I want to just give AJ an opportunity to say hello to the people out there.
What's happening, folks? How are you doing? Hope you had a blessed day, because my day was awesome.
Your day is always awesome.
Every day's a Friday. What can I tell you?
Every day's a Friday. We had an awesome weekend, too. We ain't going to talk about that tonight, though, but we did have an awesome weekend.
Show you right.
He hung out with me this weekend.
I was her plus one.
Yes, he was. It was good to have it reversed, where I'm always his plus one. But this time,
nice. Very nice.
He was my plus one.
I told them people, I said, y'all don't know how hard it is to walk around here being a trophy husband.
It felt good. It felt good on my side, too. But honey, we are here today with our guest. So I'm going to give you
guest.
Every guest that come in this studio is our special guest. But he's our special guest. We're going to give him that. So I want you to introduce him.
Absolutely. Folks, you don't understand. I've been chasing this man down for quite some time. We are friendly frenemies. I've met almost his whole family. Love his wife. She's a beautiful woman. Met his daughter. Didn't get a chance to hang out with the granddaughter yet. But, no, grandson, not the granddaughter. Right. Little Carter, right? Mm-hmm. So I haven't had a chance to hang out with him. But I did get a chance to hang out, with his daughter and his son, who I don't particularly care for. Because like his dad, they root for the wrong damn NFL team, and I'm definitely going to hold that against them. But what I will say about their father is this man is quite the mover and shaker. You want to really laugh about this, sir. I think I met you 10 years ago.
Wow.
This is 2024, and I believe the first time we met was 2014 when we got invited out to Spiota Park.
That would make sense.
So this man... for you folks that don't know, I am a hardcore music lover. Music, if you cut me, music notes will come out my veins. This guy has me beat because I kind of do music on my own on the low, but he seems to have his fingers in music everywhere. If he's not going somewhere to see music, listening to music, but what he's really doing, he's like P.T. Barnum. He's like Don King, but not ripping folks off kind of way. He is out there pounding the pavement, promoting live music. And in this generation that we're currently in, the devaluation of music is so disheartening because folks do not respect and revere music the way that music has that ability to change your day, to change your week, your year, and your life. And people are forgetting about the magic power that music has, but not this gentleman sitting to my immediate left. He makes it his business to engage the community, to engage the artists, to engage the venues, to try to keep this live music thing as vibrant as he can. If someone gave him a $5 million grant, I'm telling you, we'd all be balling. I don't know how he's doing on the budget he's working with, but he's doing it real big. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring to you on Living Your Best Life from Gregory Burrus Productions. It is the big man himself, Mr. Gregory Burrus. Clap it up, honey. Clap it up.
Wow, my hands are full of something.
My man.
Thank you.
Put my juice down.
Thank you.
It's so hard to get you here. And as I said, I'm not going to hold the Dallas Cowboys against you as a New York Giants fan. But that just gives us someplace else to talk about, okay?
It just so happened I came through the door, even though I got out and saw this giant fan. I'm like, which house is it going to be? And then I saw this flag, and I said, well, I'm going to be nice. And I came in, but I was hard-pressed.
So how was your day today?
Her day was a very, very interesting day. It was a classic, I call it live music day, because the wife and kid are up in Detroit.
Okay.
And my daughter came back in today, and I was just doing some backup, paperwork and catching up. And then I got the call. I need a band here, I need a band there in Quake Park. And the music started, and they wanted it on Thursday.
Okay.
So I was like, get busy.
So
but overall,
to me,
good day.
That was a normal day for you.
Good day.
That's a normal day for you.
Good day when I'm not outside doing the music. Yes.
So I would like to start I always, I told folks where we've met. We met across music, but we like to go back, right? So tell us where you were born, what was your life growing up, and what made you love music?
Ooh, gotta go way back.
Yes.
Way back.
Yeah, the sundial, because they didn't have digital back then.
Oh, God. Yes, back when Dallas was winning games and the Giants were just a thought. But
You going to go there?
I was born in the Bronx.
Okay.
And way back when, South Bronx, Lyman Street, around Prospect Street, for people who know that, went to school at St. Anthony of Padua.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, I was going to skip all the way to when music came in, which was years later, but when I think about the people I met along the way and whatnot, I remember my father with the thing that you take downstairs and you put on the sidewalk, and had this little arm that went out.
Okay.
And they used to play music on the street.
Okay.
So I'll have a comeback to that later.
I
but
like that.
we always had music in the house.
Okay.
And we were the little kids that my mom and dad always loved to dance and party. Mm-hmm. So it was the Carlton Ballroom on 96th Street or the one up on 149th. We were the kids in the back running around while they were out dancing and having fun. And
the
day where you
took you with them because they nobody, there was no babysitters, no
daycare. That wasn't it. Yeah.
Let me ask you, siblings. You have siblings?
I have had a brother who was 5 years older than me, and a sister who was 4 years younger, and unfortunately, she just passed literally couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So
condolences.
So I've been doing the running back, and she lived all the way in Long Island, so
we've
been going back and forth with that and whatnot, still settling that out. But I had brother, sister, adopted sisters along the way, because I have a sister that lives down in Atlanta, Georgia, who I met when I was much, much younger. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have some actually, when I think about it, I'm the last one on the Burrus side under my mother and father's line. My mother's line.
Yeah.
So I'm the last one, all her sisters. And she had like 6, 7 sisters.
Wow.
3, 4 brothers. And so far, they've all passed. So I'm the one keeping it going,
Thank God. Somebody got to do
it. Yeah. But no, I went from the South Bronx. We moved to the North Bronx somewhere around the 5th, 6th grade. Up there, I was, we went to Catholic school up there, played a lot of basketball.
Okay.
Made it into high school. Claim to fame was I went to Powell Memorial Academy because I played.
Excuse me. Yep. You Alcindor back then.
Yes, thank you.
Powell
You
Memorial.
remember the name? Yes.
I know my history, dog.
So, I went there because, back then we played ball all day in the streets.
Absolutely.
And I was supposed to go to Gompus because I loved cars, but my mother figured I wouldn't make it. So she took me down to different schools. And then back then, academics was the thing they really looked at hard.
Okay.
So I went down and walked into the gym, and all I saw was knee pads. I was like, oh, Mom, they grow tall here. I got to go here and play ball. Of course, I made a couple of the years, but Power had some very heavy people.
Absolutely.
So by, junior years, okay, we'll see you later.
Okay.
But we had a good time because Lou was winning at the time and everything and beating every school in the state, really.
Yeah, man. The story, so folks that don't know, in the Northeast Corridor up here, we are rabid about our basketball.
Yeah.
And when you talk about places like New York City, the boroughs alone, you could field Hall of Fame teams alone. And then there are certain schools that just have a legacy, and you attended one of those schools with that legacy. Yeah. So that's good to know about you.
Yeah, it was good. So, and the other fun fact was Powell Memorial was an old hospital that over the years converted into something else, converted into a school.
Okay. So
when I went there, I remember coming home and my grandmother says, your uncle was born in the basement. I go, really? So, she was like, yeah, I know that school. It's blah, 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 blah. It was old when they came over from Ellis Island and all of that. Then fast forward a number of years, who did I end up marrying? But right across the street was the projects where we all used to hang out. Mm-hmm. I never knew who was in there.
Okay.
But 20, 30 years later, when I met my wife, Roxanne,
okay,
so where you live at? On 61st Street in Amsterdam. And I go, but I went to high school on 61st in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
She literally lived right across the street all those years. So,
Ain't that
right at Lincoln Center. So it just went in circles, it seems like.
Okay.
But went there, went to high school, got out, joined the phone company.
Okay, I
back
was going to ask
then.
you your career. Okay.
Yeah, so career-wise, I went to the phone company. I did underground work with the manholes and all,
All right.
cable splicing and all.
In New York City?
All the 5 boroughs in New York.
God
So I
bless you.
joined on 14th Street and 8th Avenue.
Uh-huh.
Back in the days where you walked down 2nd Avenue and it was hippie center, like Haight-Ashbury.
Yes.
So you'd walk down the street and the smoke and the weed would be
Yeah.
marijuana and I
like
was just
today.
doing it. Yeah, exactly. Full circle again.
Like today.
We came all the way back.
All the way back. So we used to do that. The Dome was there and all the clubs down there at the
Okay.
time. And I worked through there for years, and then I went inside because working outdoors is cold.
Of course.
So, the day that I opened the manhole, and, when you're younger, you're the new kid on the block.
Yeah, you doing the grunt work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, I opened the manhole, put the tent up, the tent flew away. We're on the West Side Highway down by, Wall Street.
Yes.
Winds whipping through, and I remember sitting there freezing, going,
Gotta
I think
be
it's time to
better
make a
way.
change.
What that sound like, honey?
Sounds like you.
Yeah, it was cool. So I ended up going inside and becoming, that's time to call them switch people. So
Okay.
we did all the switches that transferred the phone calls, and then I worked on computers.
I remember that. I mean, I ain't
Yeah.
never did it, but I
Yeah,
saw
that's
it on
the-
TV.
Yeah, it was all.
Yeah.
In the TV shows was the guy running down the aisle going, "Get the phone number. It's on switch 3, line 1."
Yeah, man.
Now they hit a button, but you know
Yes.
that's what they used to do. And from there, I ended up going into inside doing a lot more. What do we call it? The service delivery process.
Okay.
So when the time you called the phone company, there was like 20 computers, and till you get to the other end.
Okay.
So I was a service process manager, director, traveled a lot. In 95, we had the worst service in the country. So I got the luxury, if you call it that. They imported people from every part of the country in to
Yes.
fix the service.
Okay.
Because back then the phone company was kind of quasi-government because there was no other communication network.
Right, right.
So we had a lot of reporting to do, and they would report on us.
Okay.
So we had people coming from everywhere. So fun part, I used to manage all the out-of-towners all over the place.
Okay.
Those that liked me and those that didn't, because they didn't know what they're coming in for. They just knew they were getting paid a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'd take them around, show them where to go,
Oh, yeah.
be the helper all day long.
Wow, that's interesting.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun way back in the day.
Okay.
And then
'Cause that's a heavy infrastructure you're working with,
oh yeah,
especially we talking New York City. Like,
yeah. So
That's
I did that. Then I went into we push air out on all the cables to
Oh,
keep
yeah.
the leaks out.
Wait a minute.
Compressors.
Stop. That's nitrogen.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yep.
right. I know.
So
Come
we
on now.
had the big compressors, and
got
I
a lot
used
of
to
big
do
brain,
that.
A lot of information in there.
So we did all of that, and that was like plumbing. So I did that for a
Okay.
while because we had to manage the machines and all. Did that all over town,
Okay.
the state and whatnot. And then from there, went into management. Went into traveling a lot. So I had an office in Boston and an office in New York. Back then it was Eastern Airlines.
Oh, God.
So we used to literally leave 42nd Street, jump on a plane. I'd go to my office in the afternoon, come back in the evening, go home and start all over again because we had, I had office all up and down New Hampshire and Maine. So, Boston was easy to get to and then go back and forth.
Right, right.
So I did that for a couple of years. And that's back when, it was Eastern. So then it was New York Telephone and NYNEX.
NYNEX.
So they kind of
Yes,
owned the
NYNEX.
plane because it was like 50 of us on the plane at any given time. And then when I left there, they did the re-engineering. And that's when, they were downsizing like crazy. Company had to go from like 200 people down to like 125.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, everybody hated it, but somebody said,
Here.
get on the team. Just get on the team no matter what you do. So 7 years later, we re-engineered the company, but that was a lot of traveling.
Okay.
So, you had to go around, see what other companies were doing around the world and whatnot, and you came back and then applied it. People were dropping like flies like crazy. And then one day, 1997, I was walking down the street, and they said, we got a package, and we're at the end of re-engineering. And I said I would stay. And I was walking, I'll never forget, I was walking up 42nd Street. There was a McDonald's on the corner. My wife worked on 46 in the phone company. And I said, they gave me a package. They said I could go, but what did I want to do? By the time I got off the phone, I was leaving.
Yeah.
I walked back upstairs and said, okay, I'm taking the package. I'm out. And that was big fun.
And that was in 97?
That was in 97.
Oh,
I
okay.
retired from that. It was like after 23 years.
Okay.
23, 24. And they were given 6 and 6. So they did 60 year age, 60 years of service. You made the magic number, 30 years each. It was 75 was the number they were looking for.
Right. Ours is rule of 80. Yep. Okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got, I got out. That was like the ultimate dream. I'm retired. I'm sitting home. I think I lasted 6 months. I was bored as all crap.
At that point, you got to go do something.
You got to do something, yeah.
Yes.
So that's when I went back, and not back, but I found out in 98, 99, the internet was coming. Mm-hmm. Everybody was starting phone companies.
Okay.
So all over, between mobile services getting started, the internet was pushing out services, companies were downsizing and dropping like flies. I found out I became super smart. It was like amazing. I went from regular telephone guy who's worked there all his life to people were starting companies. So therefore,
love it.
I was getting calls like crazy. Could you show us how to start a company? So I'd go to Alabama, sit down with the people. And if you remember, it was Interconnect Services, external companies, WorldCom, and them tried to get into the phone.
Yes.
I was the guy that could tell them how to do it.
Boy, you never came to public service? Because we had, I remember our guys going through that when the internet was coming on.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was coming off the road and going to the storeroom. All the time on the road, we finally got our MDTs, we call them.
Right.
And we thought that was high tech until you get in the office and you get an actual PC. Now you're like, oh, this is way more fun. So, okay.
Yeah, I did that for a long time.
Basically, then your whole career has really been in that telecommunications market?
Telecom and IT.
Okay.
Because since I knew all the computer systems that made it work.
Okay.
So when other companies were starting, they weren't telecom driven.
Yes.
They were money driven.
Yes.
So it was like Mary Kay literally bought a switch, had one, and wanted to know what to do with it. Literally, that's how it flipped from, I'm trying to provide service to, I know there's a revenue stream. I know there's money. We had companies coming in from India, Russia, you name it. So I ended up in Ottawa working for a company for years, where I literally would go to the airport, get people from Moscow in the, Lower Solovia, bring them into Ottawa, sit them down, show them what to do, because the money was like huge back then.
Right.
Whole families off the money. I mean, literally, wife, dog, kid, the favorite little toy, and walk them out, because somebody had to meet them in order for them to come into the country.
Okay, yes.
So I was the American who was in Canada who was hired to bring them in.
Okay.
And then we teach them how to do, IT work and all of that.
Did you ever form your own company and do this on your own?
Well, I was doing it as
working for someone.
No, I was doing it as a consultant. Once I left as 97, then I became my own consultant. So I was more consultant.
Okay.
So it was like this. To me, I was like the step before total entrepreneurial starting a company.
Yes.
But as a consultant, they'd call me. They say, "Go here.
Gotcha.
You either work for this company or here's a
Gotcha.
contract, and this is what we need done." So I did that for all the way up to 2006. We went to Norway, Sweden, you name it. I had offices in Australia where I'd have people down there working. So it was more like project and management at the same time.
I know. I'm sitting here listening to him,
That's
and I'm
amazing.
saying, like, he has already an amazing life, and we haven't even gotten
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the music.
We're almost there. Almost there. But this is...
here, but I'm
you
so
need that backstory to
intrigued. Right?
hear.
Yeah.
I am so intrigued at hearing your story, and I'm like,
Absolutely.
wow, this is like amazing.
Yeah. Wow,
You
this
know?
is what I was doing. And, I remember going to a number of places.
I'm also going to say you hit the sweet spot.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
you came in, this thing was new. Nobody knew what this was, so you hit that vein. It was like you in a mine, and you swinging the pick, and all of a sudden you hit it, and the mother lode opens up.
The other part that was good is that I love travel.
Okay.
So where
Got to
you be
travel
in
on
an
somebody
office and
else's
somebody else, people would go, I need somebody in Vancouver. I need them really by Monday morning because we got this big meeting and a contract people coming in. Can you be there? And the guy said, man, you'll be back every weekend. It was like 4 years later. I was flying back and forth every weekend.
Okay.
But it turned into every other week, every other month. And so the kids started coming up with the wife to wherever I was.
Okay.
Point, my daughter thought she was born in Ottawa because she thought she was Canadian. She heard it so much.
Yes.
But I did that, the whole IT/telecom thing for up to about 2006. I was traveling, you name it. I'd go there and get them started, or they'd tell me, no, don't work. And the money was stupid at the time, so it really worked out well.
I like it. I love it.
So all of that was business management and process management plus the IT.
Okay.
So, between the computers, how would people work with each other? You can envision me going into New Hampshire or Maine or somewhere and saying, okay, I'm now your boss, and I'd get 20 fingers under the table, and then you'd have to work with people that really don't want to work with you.
Right, because you're the outsider.
Yeah. And I don't have the accent in a lot of places like Alabama or those places, Arkansas.
I'm also going to say that your shade might work.
Yeah, that was interesting too. Especially and
some of the good old boys didn't appreciate you.
Well, that ain't really changed much.
But also though, as a professional witness, because what would happen is AT&T or WorldCom or one of them would hire me, since they knew I knew how to get into the old standard phone companies. Now I'm sitting in a place where I'm saying, oh yeah, no, what you're saying is wrong. You can do this. I had to run out of some states. Okay, I was literally like, you're going to go to the hotel? No, I'm just going to go straight to the airport and get on, and I'm out of here. So that was good for years, but I did all of that stuff. All of that to say, yes, that was the background for getting to the music, because I couldn't tell you what South Orange looked like. I had lived there 26 years. I was always traveling.
You always travel.
Always on the road.
Got you.
So when I decided to leave, I think I was in Kansas, running across some 6-lane highway to get to somewhere from some hotel. And I went to an office one day. Oh, it was off Sprint. Okay. And they built their campus like a college campus. 20 buildings, 20 parking lots, all looked the same. Harvard, one of those type of looks, was the wife of the guy who owned it, MCI. I remember sitting in a meeting one day, and I came out the meeting. I couldn't figure out where my office was. I literally was standing, and we were contractors, so you always got something temporary. But I stood there. I had no idea whether to go to building Z, go to building A, go to this building. And I said, I think it must be time. So that's when I left in 2006. I was working with Sprint contract out there. And was home, going to local events. And I was looking at people doing the music, in the town and whatnot. Think about a year or two later, I said, I don't understand. Why there's nobody here at these events? You had your moms, your pops, but when it's time to get dark or it's time for the kids to go to sleep, they're leaving. So you'd have a great band playing, or a bad band, but they'd all be playing to themselves. And I'm like, this is crazy. You'd be playing for an hour and a half. So I must have said it enough to the right people that this woman, Melissa Hodge from South Orange downtown, said, you want to do some booking of bands and whatnot? I said, yeah. I said, you sure? I said, yeah, it's people, it's process.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. You just basically transferred everything that you have been doing through your whole entire career, just in another medium.
Yeah, it's taking those skills, because
that's it.
It's always working with groups. There was times I was in telecom and IT, and I'd be landing in an airport at 4 a.m, get to the hotel. There'd be my team of, like a team of 60, 70 people. The leaders of each team would be sitting there looking at me, and I'm trying to find out how to go to the bed. And they'd be like, yeah, what do we need? And you got to perk up, tell everybody what to do. And it's people.
Yeah.
Right? Some of them are like going crazy. Some of them like, I need it yesterday. The meeting started 2 hours from now. So you're always working with people and process and whatnot. And what tools
it's
do
all
you
the
have.
Same.
So that's how I ended up there.
So you had your aha moment out in Kansas, realizing I got to turn this off. I got to do something else in my life. You flipped over to the music thing. At what point did you have your next aha moment where you said, this is a good thing. I got something good going on here. I can do this.
That's an interesting one, because I don't know if it probably was somewhere in aha over time, but the bands were loving it as I was getting more people out to, look at the bands. people I was doing it for had no problem because it was bringing people into the town and whatnot. So I'd say somewhere next year or 2 or 3, it became a thing where people were starting to hit me up to do things.
Okay.
And it was outside of just what I was doing there in South Orange.
Okay.
So somewhere along there, it probably hit me that, gee, this is a fun thing to do.
And
I had fun
this
doing
is the guy
it.
to talk to make it happen.
Yeah. And to me, I mean, there was days where I could do 5, 6 events in a week turned into in a day. And to me, it was all fun. And my wife would look at me like, where you going? And I lived right there in South Orange at the time.
I
So
could walk right out. Yeah, I
walk
even
on
got
down
drive.
the corner, I'm up by Seton Hall, walk on down, put music on the street corner, and go to the next corner. You
Yes.
know? So,
That's interesting, though.
yeah.
I'm going to ask a strange question, but not strange. You don't play any instruments or ever been in a band? I'm asking. This is a question. I'm not telling you. I'm asking the question.
Here's
a good question.
Here's the answer to your question. You took me all the way back to the 3rd grade.
Okay.
Saxophone.
Nope. You ready?
Violin.
Yep.
Violin?
Third grade, Catholic school, so they don't have music programs.
Yeah, they don't.
Okay.
So they always have an instrument somewhere.
Yeah.
I was called out of the class one by one. Father Noto and Sister Marie, whatever, Agnes Marie, I think her name is.
Okay.
You would go down the stairs, and one by one, we'd go to the piano. In
Mm.
the hallway, you come off the steps landing, and you'd play. And they'd let you know if you
Yay
could
or
play.
nay?
And I was a big nay. I was like, the heck out of here. Okay? So I took that as a very disappointing, thing, and I went back upstairs, was totally defeated. And
you didn't try again?
my thing is, if I see Sister Mary Francis, she's probably like 129.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick her ass. Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen.
I'm gonna tell her where to go. I don't care if she's in a walker. It was her fault. Her and Father Noto.
Oh, so she was the person that stopped
Stopped
another
the-
person from playing her
playing
their
in
music,
spirit.
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Killed
Okay,
it.
I got you. She killed your spirit
Absolutely.
and kept you from picking up an instrument.
Yeah, so
Okay.
no, I don't
Shame
play.
on you, Mary.
That's us,
What was her
Mary
name?
Francis.
Mary Francis. Shame on you.
Yep.
Shame.
Yeah, no, I don't
So
play.
let's stay in that vein because I like that. That was actually a great question to ask. Okay.
Either way.
So I'm going to go on the other side of that. So since you couldn't play an instrument, well, she discouraged you. You can probably play one. You just at that point you walked away.
Yeah.
What music did you love that made you gravitate to this thing so hard that you couldn't get it out your system?
It's interesting. Today I'd use the word jazz, but to me, jazz back then, like when my father and them were introducing us to it, it was dance music.
Yes, it was. People don't think it.
Yeah.
Jazz
Yeah.
was popular music.
The records came out, you opened the top, they put them on, and everybody be around. And,
Yes.
oops, is that me?
Your phone, you good?
Oh, okay. So all I saw was parents dancing to the music.
The music, yeah.
Right, so to me, it was jazz, it was R&B,
Okay.
it was all of that. Years later, I was thinking of that T.S. Monk,
Oh,
Oh,
and
okay.
talking to him one day.
the son.
Yes, the son.
Great drummer.
He had a family and friends that lived on one side, down the corner from my wife on 61st Street. They call like the Phipps houses, and part of them lived there. So we were talking about that connection because my wife was at the event with me.
Okay.
So that sort of came up, and we kept talking, and he goes, oh, yeah, Elmo Hope? I go, yeah. He said, they used to live right in the Bronx. And I go, really? He goes, yeah. They just renamed the street for him called Elmo Hope Way.
Okay.
And I said, there's only one street in the Bronx that they did that at. It's called Lyman Place, because where I lived, it was
Frankie
one block
Lyman.
between 169th and like whatever the next street was before Katona Park. No, what it came down to was, I don't know, it probably was Frankie Lyman, but they renamed that, and that's when I found out my mother's best friend was the Hope, a sister who lived across the street. So Elmo Hope, Bertha Hope, when they weren't in California, whatever, they would come in there. That's part of the crew that would come out and play music on the street.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay. So somewhere along that whole genre, my brother was big into the music,
Okay.
He's 5 years older than me, so he had every record. Look like that. We still have that somewhere.
Yeah, man.
That's transported album after album from house to house to house.
Man.
Yeah.
I keep trying to get rid of them every time I try.
Yeah.
I can't.
I know.
I can't. And let me ask you, Name some of your favorite, not just in that era, but across the spectrum. Give us 5 or 6 of your favorite artists, musicians who you truly truly love.
So now we want to get in trouble.
Yeah, no, this is because look.
Some of the ones I like.
I'm Prince. I'm Miles. I'm Maurice White from Earth, Wind and Fire. Obviously, the whole band. I grew up with the funk stuff, Cameo, Pleasure. These are the music that spoke to me, that got me to where I am today.
Right.
So I just want to know just a few of the things that kind of.
I'm trying to
It
think.
don't have to be popular.
It's popular. I'm trying to think backwards.
Yeah.
When there was like Sam Cooke,
Oh,
Marvin Gaye.
Jackie Wilson. And,
Jackie Wilson used to be up the corner to the right. He had a girlfriend. We all knew when he showed up in the Bronx because his limo was longer than the driveway.
yeah, man. And you walked in there talking about Chubby Checker.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, you ain't
over
disparaging
time.
nobody.
And I know all these people too.
Yes,
because because of my father and my mother.
So you're not disparaging nobody. We talking
No.
about what's hitting you in your chest.
Exactly.
No, well, different things hit me at different times.
Exactly.
Like right now.
Oh, yeah. So what you listen to right now?
Do you know the song Wait a Minute?
I do not.
See? It's Will Smith's daughter, Willow.
Oh,
yes.
Willow.
I know it now because
That's why I
saw
said it that way.
Yes, I don't know it by title.
I
but
can sing that song forever.
Yes.
Wait a minute. It's really weird, the different things that hit me at different times.
Man. That one is good because that's a stretch, bro. Because
So-
she's not a mainstream artist at all.
But she's coming up.
Okay.
And believe me, other than that song, I don't know.
Did you see the all-girl band she had with the
yes,
dude on
yes.
There's a dude on piano. That's Mohini Day on bass.
Yeah.
That's the Pocket Queen on drums.
Oh, that is?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I love her. She's
So
good.
she
I
got
watch all her stuff. Yeah.
Willow went and got her an all-star band to deliver her music. That's why
nice.
you feeling it.
Yeah, because it comes across. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, her. I'm also a big Sade fan. Sade.
Oh,
Okay.
so am I.
Yeah.
That's
I love play her
that's
over
Jay's
and over.
baby mama drama wife.
Oh, really?
You know that woman. Oh, yeah. We might
I
do
love
some
her
Sade
too.
for you
I
next
love
time we
her
come out.
And I like her and all the... and I do a lot of the smooth jazz stuff.
Okay.
Like Vincent Ngala's coming next week where you were last
Yes.
week.
Oh,
He'll be there. They sold
you're
out
at
that
your
show.
thing. So I was going to
Saturday?
get tickets to go down there, but you're at that thing. But you coming home Saturday?
I'm coming home Saturday night.
Yeah, you might.
It's over. Everything is over like at 5:00 in the afternoon. So
She needs to go straight to the theater.
I'm in Edison, so it's like
All right.
take 30 minutes to get home.
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
All right. But
So no, I do a lot of that. It's like we've been on a jazz cruise.
okay.
The one out of Florida a couple of times, and
the real one.
the real one,
Yeah, not
the one
the,
with the boat. One where
yeah.
you wake up in the morning and
Yeah.
Desron Douglas is playing bass in the hallway,
hall,
something
yes.
like that, But I've done that, 2018 and all,
Okay.
and
And what about your?
I love Grover.
You have to.
And I play him over and over again.
have
And those
to.
cats,
Yes, man. Let me ask you about this local music scene. And for you, when I say local, I'm really saying more like Essex County, but you have a little bit deeper tentacles. So you have quite a multitude of bands that are out here that are trying to make some mark. What draws you to the folks you see on the local scene? Because clearly most of these folks don't have the kind of notoriety. There's a few folks that, big fish in the pond that have a little bit of a name. I would immediately say guys like Adam, Rodham Schwartz and, Nat Adderley and, cats like that. But what draws you to the local cats that you try to keep out there on the scene?
It's a very interesting question because it's changed over time.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, and then just as a marker, COVID, pre-COVID.
COVID, pre-COVID.
Yeah, and the reason being is that before COVID, bands were playing everywhere. Mm-hmm. Restaurant owners, all of them. They were still giving crap to people, doing good and bad. But once COVID hit, and I did like the 24 hours of music, and I was doing that online.
Yes.
I came out and I said, let's do it again live. But what happened is there was a decided difference. There was like a monumental shift because
yes.
now they had to make money off of what they were doing because they were starting from zero. And there wasn't a lot of people who grew up with the music.
Yes.
So it's like what draws me before was I love the music, I love the music, I love the music.
Okay.
Now, in a lot of the stuff I'm doing, I got to make it profitable music.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
so I'm now looking at bands in like two categories. If you're doing a free event and it don't cost people to get in, host of bands that are great at that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's places where if you want to make some money for the artist, for myself, or for others,
Yes.
then you got to have bands that attract people.
I
Yeah.
love what you're saying right
so
now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just
That makes
did this whole series at, we wrapped up the Sunday brunch at South Valley.
Yes.
And I literally had to go through bands that have fans.
Yeah.
So you get some bands that get pissed off at you because everybody
Yeah.
wants to play.
Yeah, man.
But the reality is, if I didn't get 50 people in the door per band,
Right.
you know,
not
you
making-
see what it is. It's
It
not
makes
easy.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So
No,
whether it's a
Greg,
$20
it's not
ticket,
easy, yeah.
$30 ticket,
Yes.
and people, especially in the jazz and kind of that medium,
Yeah.
you say cover charge, it's like a steel gate just shut. They just, and it's the biggest, weirdest thing to me because you say, okay, no cover charge, come on in. They'll spend $100
Yes.
same night.
That they'll spend the money.
Yeah, spend it. But
But-
if you say it's a $10 cover charge, they won't come. They don't want to know nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's wrong. But and I'm doing it now when we're doing the summer series. I could say for the brunch, I got maybe 35%, 40% of the people that were coming before when it was free.
When it was free.
Okay, get 100 people out the door, eyes closed.
Yeah.
So it's just a dynamic of the business that, at a certain level,
Yeah, man.
you know, you're doing less events and longer lead times
Yeah. Yeah.
to get people in.
No,
So
and
people will pay, but it's in the local area.
Yeah.
You know, now you go to New York,
It's
you put something on the street corner,
yeah.
20 people show up along with the garbage man, a few
Right.
other people, and they're all having a ball.
Right.
Out here in Jersey, you got to pull people out of their house.
That is true.
I like that, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that because you know, on being on the musician side, you know, I don't think we work hard enough as bands to really encapsulate our audience and drag our fans to bring them along with us. Obviously, you have a couple of hardcore people, but if they come and see you 10 times, you know, they're not obligated to come see you
They're
11
gonna come.
times. You
Right,
know what I mean?
exactly.
So you gotta keep your core audience, but then you have to attract new people.
Right.
And it's a double-edged sword, you know. And I'm one of the people, you know, because I try to go out and support the folks that when I want to go out and hang out, I want to go out and see live music. I have no problem with that. But I tend to also stay home and do my own thing at home as opposed to being out in the street going to see music. But when I'm ready to go, you know, we
you show up.
we
Yeah.
do not complain at all. We got to pay, you know, because I don't even think we think of it from the standpoint of going out to support and act. We're doing it because we want to go out and have some fun. You know what I mean?
Basically.
Yeah.
So we went and saw that damn Grateful Dead. I didn't want to say, I'm not a fan. I'm sorry for all you deadheads out there. Your boy is not a fan of the Grateful Dead, okay? I like my music at a different level, but I will say this to you. I knew one Grateful Dead song, and that night, I found 3 more songs that I actually liked. But you got to realize, it's not the Grateful Dead. It's Stanley Jordan
Right.
doing his
They're doing
interpretation
his thing
of
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. So I came to see Stanley Jordan performing this style
And
of
that's
music.
live music.
But it was live music. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, you want to know what the real highlight of the whole gig was? The young lady that was playing piano in the piano lounge, where you could go get your drink, sit down before the show, and just kick back, and now you could reach across, you could talk. So, matter of fact, the funny thing, folks, for you folks out there in podcast land, and a couple of y'all will be able to see the video, me and my son roll in there because mama got us the tickets. Thank you, baby. And we walked in. I said, yo, look, who that? I said, that's GB over there. So I take my phone out.
Yes, he did.
I took Greg's picture, and then I texted him, and I said, look up.
Yep.
So me and Junior talking the whole time, because he over there, he politicking with a few people. Then I see him pick his phone up, and I'm like, I said, watch him. All of a sudden, I see he looks at his picture. Now he,
The last 2 people I expect to
first
see
thing he
across
does, he
the
kind of looks
floor.
left and right.
Yeah.
That's funny to me, because you got to know the picture came straight.
Right, right.
But people look left and right. Then he looks up, you see his face break into the big smile.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Nah, that was
breaks out
cool.
to the big smile.
Yeah, no.
So you said it's the last person you expected to see. Why? You know this man.
Nah,
both of
yeah,
them
but
is
see,
into
I don't
music.
know him. I did this to him in South Orange too. We had another band out there, and they were playing, and it was kind of like either the break or near the end, and he was sitting up on the side. He wasn't playing, and he came down. I said, "Hell, are you doing at this jazz event?" So why are you here? So he's the last person I expect to see at a jazz event. I still can't get over. He plays R&B. He's really good. I just don't connect jazz and him?
And that's funny to me because
he don't know me like that.
Right. You know, and that's what's hilarious because Al Jones likes all
Everything.
music.
Hip hop,
Everything. It
classical,
doesn't matter what
rock.
it is.
Greg, I played in a jazz band from 2000 to 2007. And when I joined the band, I said to them, I said, listen, I said, full disclosure, your boy is not a jazz drummer. I want y'all to know that. And they said, no, that's why we want you. Because, you know, and you know my man Tayshawn, he used to be in that band.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so back when he was that young upcoming pup on his way up, he played with these cats.
Wow.
And so when they mentioned him to me, I didn't know who he was. And then now you see, and he just got the big award he just got now. So the kid is phenomenal. So they said to me, they said, listen, we appreciate that and we understand you're not a jazz drummer. They said, but we want you to bring what you bring. And they didn't know the reason I joined the band because I love jazz music. And I said to myself, I'm a funk R&B drummer, but you can't bring nothing new to that if you don't sit in another medium so you can steal the things you take there and bring it with you to open up your playing. And that was the number one reason. And for me, when you think about jazz, it's all about the ride cymbal. And I never forget when I got with the band, I hated the sound of my ride cymbal. So I immediately went to the record store, to the music stop. I went around and I found that ride cymbal that I liked because my ride cymbal, in my opinion, clashed with my sax player, who was the leading voice in the band. And so once I got that right ride cymbal, it changed everything. And they wanted me to be more funky because they were like, no, do that funky stuff you do. So I played with them for 7 years.
Wow.
The sax player was the leader of the band. Crazy thing, his last name was Jones also. So we used to crack up. I brought my son into that band. My son played trumpet. A lot of people don't know that AJ played trumpet. So that's where he really learned to read music, from playing trumpet. So he got his chops up, and he actually played for the East Orange High School band his senior year. He went to Catholic school, 9th through 11th grade. They closed the school his senior year. That was Essex Catholic.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so they closed that. And would actually kick the seniors out, let the underclassmen finish that last year. And he went to Campus High, because it would have been Clifford Scott, but they built a new campus. And the comical thing is, he comes into he said, well, this is my opportunity. Now, like you said, going to Catholic school, there was no music. Now he had opportunity to go play in the band. And so he walks in, and the line for drummers is out the door.
Wow.
The music director said, man, I wish you played another instrument because I got 1,000 drummers here in East Orange, And my son said, well, I do play trumpet. He said, you play trumpet? He said, could you? My son went, auditioned on trumpet. They put him in the band. Literally, within 30 days, my son was standing next to the music director. He was like the assistant music director.
Wow.
Because he really, he grew up in this house where he hear everything.
It's music.
And he's a musical maven. And the crazy thing, the show we did at SOPAC, the young man we brought up.
Yeah, I remember him.
He went to Livingston High.
Oh, wow.
So they had Livingston played East Orange. We went to the game. He was in Livingston band. My son was in East Orange band. Wow. And they got to battle each other.
Nice.
So, but, my wife will tell you, you could come to my house, and if you get in my car, you don't know what you're going to hear. You're going to hear, I'll be listening to Metallica. I'll be listening to Bach. I'll be listening to Miles. I just love music. But if you ask me, what's the music that hits me in the chest and resonates with me? It's the funk R&B, because I'm a backbeat groove kind of guy.
Gotcha.
I want to hear, because I'm a dancer. I like to dance. I like to move. At my wife's conference that we went to, man, they threw my joint on. I looked right at her. I said, let's go. She looked at me. She's like, I grabbed her by the hand. We hit that floor. We was out there, right?
Yeah. I don't normally dance at those things, because
I know.
I have a reputation to oppose. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I had so much fun that I just allowed myself, and it was a very safe environment for me to be able to do that.
But that's why you'll see me in different spaces. So
that's why when she has that question, I'm laughing, because I went all the way back.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
but I love that.
Everywhere.
I love that. So I'm going to ask you another question right now. I'm going to ask you, if I say to you, because we had a conversation earlier before we started this podcast, what makes you come alive?
That's a great question.
Yeah, because that's what I want to hear.
Yes. What is making you live your best life right now? Because let me just frame this for a minute. So you came up as that young man in the Bronx. You found the lady in your life. Then you got yourself involved with all this telecommunication stuff, and you hit the sweet spot. You were just doing the telecommunication, and the internet thing came, and you hit it at the right time, would put you in a perfect position for your traveling, for leading teams, and doing all this incredible stuff. But in the back, that music thing was burning.
Oh, always.
It was burning, and it worked its way to the front. So right now, at this place in your life, you are living your best. Every time I see you, you got a big-ass smile on your face. I've never seen you down, even when the stress is on you. And I'm going to just take you back for a minute for the New Year's gig. You know, you called us at the 11th hour to do a New Year's gig. Not only did you come and you said you're going to be with us for like 15 minutes, you hung out with us for a little bit, but you had to leave to go make sure the other show you had going on was working. So how are you living your best life now so that you're truly enjoying what you're doing?
Well, I would say it's probably the music.
The music?
Yeah, because, I get up and I always just go showtime and then run out the house and organize, put stuff up. It's great to have bands like yours, not just giving you credit, but some bands you work with, they're all over the place. And they're figuring out what they're doing, who they're doing, where they're doing. You guys show up. You even got her doing sound at an event. All right?
Our new sound person.
This is
a
family affair.
Family affair. Sly's one of my people that I always love. Sly Stone.
Okay.
I like.
I just read his book.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. But no, it's about doing something, helping the musicians along. And I'll put it another way. I say it is in my corporate career. $1 million contracts, $80 million, you got to put stuff together, you're pulling it all out. Everybody comes at you, and it's like, what do we get? What are we getting? All of that. And music, I find, cats will play. And when it's over, they go, so how much am I making? Like, seriously? And the first couple of times it hit me, I was like, these guys are whacked. I mean, But you see the love of what they do.
Music, yeah.
And to me, that I can respect. Because to me, I just respect what I like to do. And if I always say to people, and it's the oldest statement in the world, I use it on the kids all the time. Find a job you love, you never work a day.
And that's why
I said, it's not about the word job. It's about what you're doing within the job.
Yes.
Transport you everywhere.
Right.
So, absolutely.
Now, I'm going to give you another piece of this because I'm going to tell you another reason why I know you're living your best life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because you've mentioned it a few times, and we're going to expand on it.
Okay.
It's family.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You and your wife have an incredible bond. How long have y'all been married?
The guy asked this guy the other day, and he said, honey, how long have we been married? And I said, smart move, because whatever number you're going to give is wrong.
You're telling me you don't know?
You know.
You better know.
41.
Good.
Okay. And your anniversary is right around ours.
Okay.
Because we're the 26th.
And I'm May 25th.
See, we know that now.
You're
now
May
we
25th.
know that.
We're May 20th.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, your wife, it seems like, I really haven't spent a lot of time around her. But first off, she has the biggest damn smile. And she seems super chill. Okay?
Super chill, but super directed.
That's okay, because that's what mothers are. Yeah. That's who they are.
Yeah.
Your daughter, I have a daughter. Mm-hmm. And when I saw your daughter for the first few times, she reminded me of my daughter. And I call my daughter the wild child. So am I semi-accurate in your description of your daughter?
She's different than the son. It's a comparison.
Yes.
Son's very directed. He's heavy-duty technology, works for CBS, does motion graphics. My technology is not old technology, compared to what they're doing today. Okay. So I call him and say, ChatGPT, what do I be doing next? Yeah, do this, and this, and boom, it's all working. But her, she works in hospitality. She works in restaurants. So she picked up my travel side.
Yes.
I'm going to do anything I can.
The people side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a different mindset in terms of wild.
And talk to me about your son again, because now you just mentioned him, because I met him when we did the thing in Maplewood in the big park. And he had the giant hat on, so I was just killing him that day.
I know.
And so he seems to have followed in your footsteps from the technology side and more serious, more business-oriented.
His place looks like a small version of this with the 3/4 screen. Now, he works with CBS. He does graphics. Okay. And then turned into animatics. Like when you're watching the Super Bowl or the football, those graphics that move. in between commercials and all.
He's doing
They
that.
do it, and they got to keep it up on the stage because, I didn't know you had to pinpoint it to where on the field.
Oh, yeah.
So that the graphic don't float left
yeah,
or
it's not
right.
on the 40, but it should be
Yeah.
on the 30.
So, good thing he is down at the Super Bowl like a couple of years ago
Yes.
in the truck outside. And, in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and he was out there doing that Super Bowl. So it's went far for him.
Okay.
It's all technology-driven, type of thing he likes to do. He works from home most of the time now.
Is he a type A type person?
No, he's more relaxed.
More laid back. So he's
much-
serious about it and dedicated, but he's not a type A.
No, he's very focused on what he does and all. But he's, he diagnosed with Crohn's disease,
Okay.
a while ago.
My aunt,
which means
Aunt
now
Miranda
you got to
had that.
change everything you eat
Diet
and all of that.
Yeah, man.
If it was me, I'd be gone.
Yeah.
Okay? He
Yeah.
changed everything. He knows what he can eat,
Oh,
can't
yeah.
eat.
It's
He
about
knows how I
living.
should feel about it and all
Yeah.
of that. And, I look at my wife, I go, I don't know where he got it from, but
It ain't me.
thank you, Jesus. Like that.
Now let's.
And he pulled it together.
Now we also going to change gears a minute because I don't know if you got to see her when you came in because there is this special gift that we have shared. Okay, there's nothing in the world like being a parent.
Oh,
okay, when you raise your children and when you see them aspire and you breathe the life into them, but my God, there is nothing like a grandchild.
Oh, yeah, nice. Sir, when I
A
came in.
grandchild just. I look at my children and I tell them I love you, but I'm done with you. I got my grandson who's 23. And I got the granddaughter who's 3. Talk to us about your little grandson. 'Cause I seen a couple pictures with y'all.
Mr. Carter, who I will say she named him Carter Gregory Burrus, Ayala.
Oh,
So his middle name is Gregory Burrus.
okay.
But he's cool. I literally just did a post because he was up and they went up to Detroit.
Okay.
I woke up in the morning, they got on the 6 a.m. flight. They made it out there the whole bit. So I'm looking at the
Following
pictures
in their
later
father's
on.
footsteps.
And I looked at the pictures later on. There's Roxanne with Carter, holding him, walking through the airport. And I
Okay.
go, but 2 years old, this kid made it to Atlanta, Oregon. He's in Detroit.
Oregon?
Yeah, there's a wedding out there for one of my sister's sons. And
Okay.
they went to Oregon for a week or so. And I'm looking at him as he's walking through the airport. I could see by the picture he's all bright and bubbly. And I'm like, by age 2, I was happy to make it from the Bronx. If I made it to Manhattan, that mom took me to
Yeah.
Manhattan. Yeah, she wouldn't travel like
We
that.
say that a lot.
Yeah.
She
And
went to
now,
Jamaica.
Yeah, Naomi went to Jamaica.
yeah, there you go. And I'm
We didn't leave the
looking-
country yet, too.
Exactly.
Thank you. We didn't think
2
about
years
that.
old,
I didn't leave the Bronx or
please.
two, okay?
So
I
how-
didn't leave the country until maybe a few years ago. No.
so
I started traveling at 19 because I just knew I wanted to fly somewhere and I wanted to go to a beach. I literally went to an airport, Kennedy Airport,
I walked up
6
to the
a.m. in the
counter.
morning,
Yep.
drunk as a skunk because it was the only way because I was scared of flying.
Oh.
So I drank and said, I'm going to do this, was drunk, walked up, bought a ticket to the Bahamas, got on the plane, and to my bad luck, the 2 young ladies sitting next to me were like 20 or so, and they were regular travelers, and they start in. And luckily I wasn't in the window seat as an aisle. What a ratty plane. This is terrible. I don't know why we do this. Look at these seats. Meanwhile, I'm sitting the whole flight.
Yes.
But when I landed, that
Everything
was it for
good.
me. That heat came through the. Oh God, I was in heaven. So I've been going
Where
back
did
there
you
before.
go?
I went to the Bahamas.
Yeah, I know you went to the Bahamas.
Freeport
That's
the first
Freeport.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Freeport, and then from there, my story on travel is that in People's Express.
Oh, People's Express. Oh, my God.
I was working for the phone company. A lot of money because, we're cable places. And
Yeah.
back then, once you got past 9 hours, everything was double time.
Double time.
So we always just work. But I used to go to an island every week.
Yeah.
Wherever People's went, and I went to the Bahamas like 20 times.
Yeah.
But I would just literally get off work because we worked
Go right
12
to the
to 8
airport.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Right to the airport, I'd walk, and back then, right, you walked
you
on
walk
the
up to
plane.
the counter, yeah,
Right,
like,
you
yeah,
get your
you
ticket,
can.
walk right on,
Yeah.
sit down, walk in the back, walk in the front of the plane.
Yeah.
And I would travel all the I think there's like maybe 2 of them I didn't
That
make
you
it
haven't
to. But I would just get on a plane and go.
Honey, you know what that
that's
sounds like? That sounds like someone who has lived their best
Absolutely.
life.
That was living.
That was
fun.
living.
Because to get on a plane and just go
Yeah.
walking down the
Yeah,
beach,
man.
I couldn't get into Bermuda unless you had a hotel because they were very strict.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why
So-
I was asking.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just jumping on a plane, going to these places.
So any place they
Just
told
hang
me
out
no,
all
I
day.
just
Yeah.
could literally I could leave here on like a 7 a.m. flight, be there by 9, be on the island by 10, wander all day, and catch the 5:30 back.
Oh, okay.
And I would do that. And if it was really good, I'd stay over.
Yeah.
You know, some guy offered me a job at a hotel that I always wondered if I would taken it, would it have been good?
Yeah.
I also got an offer for a ride back to Miami. The days of Miami Vice was on the air and all of that. And I always remember these young guys giving me, come on, man, jump on the boat. Yeah. And all I thought was Miami Vice. I said, we're going to get back to the U.S. It's going to be, hey.
I'm going to be dunked on the side of that boat. Yes, sir.
But, I used to do that a lot.
Man. I have definitely learned some things about you, but I'm going to take this hard pivot left. So you were born in the Bronx.
Yep.
You have resided in Jersey. Did you live anywhere else?
And Bronx, South Bronx, North Bronx, Parkchester.
I mean, another state.
And then another state now.
So
and I made it from there to here.
This is why we're taking this left. Because you see, in 1972, I was 12 years old. And on my TV, I saw my sorry New York Giants. And they were sorry in 72. But there was a thing that hit me when I saw that helmet. And I saw my squad. And I was like, those are my guys. And I've been in love with that team since 1972.
But what did you
How the hell do you live in the Bronx?
I knew where he was going.
Live in Jersey, pass 50,000 states to become a Dallas Cowboys fan. You look in this camera and you tell this audience how that happened. Because this is sacrilege, Greg.
What was the record of the Dallas Cowboys back then?
They were a good team, but that's not what it's about.
And what were the record of the Giants back then?
We were not a good team. You need to grow with your squad.
Some of us like winners, and some of us like those guys that run up and down the field.
You know what that's called? That's called front running or bandwagon jumping.
Back then, absolutely correct. Okay, I saw Tom Landry. I saw the boys. I also loved Joe Namath at the time too.
So you didn't become a Jets fan?
No, I did not become a Jets fan.
So what made you go hardcore?
You know what's funny is I remember, and I don't know if I was either young enough or old enough to do it. I could see Jim Brown when they would run him up and down the field. I don't know when he stopped playing.
Oh God!
But they always
right before the 70s. Yeah, he might have made it to early 70s or right before.
So I must have seen him running back because they showed him. And then in Dallas, Tom Landry, Roger, all of those cats.
Okay.
Tony Dorsett, you name it. Something resonated. Probably nothing more than I could watch them on TV. Because, TV, my mother didn't let us watch a lot of TV, so when I was watching, it was like, let me watch when I could.
Okay.
But, yeah, that's what it is. It wasn't, who was in town.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the Giants don't even play in New York anymore. I mean, so you got to transplant a team.
That's even more reason to love them because we Jersey. You live in Jersey.
Yeah.
That's even more reason to love them.
I know. My stadium's bigger than yours.
It can be bigger. It's not about glitz and glam and all that. It's about that grit and that heart, But I always ask that question because
a
couple of my best friends,
right?
When the cats came to the show, Ian, he's one of my best friends. Hardcore Giant fan. We have a mother of our group. We have a group chat. She's like the mother of the group. Oh my God, the women are worse. Okay, the dudes I can do what I'm doing to you.
I know.
But the women, oh my God, they're so much worse.
They're brutal.
And you want to hear a great story? So when I met my wife and she saw I was a hardcore musician and sports guy, she knew. Okay, I'm gonna have to get myself. So she saw I was heavy into football. So I told her, you're gonna watch football. You can go ahead. You can pick the team. Tell them who you picked, baby.
49ers.
Oh, my goodness.
She picked the 49ers. I like that.
Oh, my goodness.
I tell the story. She picked the 49ers because she saw Jerry Rice, and Jerry Rice looked like me. So she was like, okay, I got a guy. And so that was when we were dating. Now, we come up on matrimonial time.
Uh-oh.
And I looked at her. What'd I tell you, baby? What'd I tell you?
Probably something to the effect of everybody in this house is going to be a Giant.
You want to be in here? You're going to be a New York Giants
But you see, I didn't really care because I'm not really a fan.
Not a hardcore, yeah.
I'm not a hardcore sports fan, right? I understand how sports, my husband loves all sports. And so, but I tell people all the time, I may not be a sports fan, but I know sports.
Oh, She could sit at the desk. We could do an ESPN, like the way
can
we
have
do
a
this
conversation.
podcast. I can put her on. We could do an ESPN segment.
I know all the people. I know all
man.
the teams.
Because she see it all. She it's by osmosis. She's getting it all the time.
Because at one point, the television was always on ESPN.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
And all that stuff just come in, you know.
Do you guys
So-
do this somewhere else, like outdoors at an event or whatever?
I did one like in the backyard, and it's crazy. I was actually thinking about doing that, but we could definitely do it outdoors because this unit actually doesn't need
And I want to, and I kept telling
electric
him
to run.
because this is one of the things I loved about this unit is that it was portable.
Portable.
Right.
And I want to do some outdoor stuff. Matter of
Well,
fact, when we went to Atlantic City, I wanted us to do a podcast in Atlantic
But
City.
we didn't do it.
But we
yeah.
didn't do it. But
and I would say the
it's
other
coming.
thing, even if we don't do this, we can always do that, and she can snatch the audio
Right,
off of
right.
that, and then use the audio because she does the audio version of it.
I do
and
the-
I like to do
yeah.
the video
I
version.
do the podcast
Am I
version
allowed
of
to
it.
promote?
Absolutely. Yes,
Greg, please.
sir.
So
That's why
what
we
I
have you here.
Yes.
what I would like to know
Oh.
is what are y'all doing on July 20th?
Probably nothing.
Between the hours of 12 and 9, more or less.
I'm gonna say
My phone is up there.
I'm gonna say nothing because I only
So
have
I would
things
like to
going on.
officially invite y'all out to the Orange Food Truck and Jazz Festival
Okay.
and be interviewers.
Is it at Seton Village?
Nope, it's in Orange, Monty Irvin Park.
Oh, out there, Monty Irvin Park. Yeah, that's
and
right up the
dead
street.
in the
there.
middle. Yep, exactly. That's what I was thinking of.
And
You know
what time?
We do the festival runs from 12 to 9.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We should be okay. And it's so funny that you should say that because July 20th is when we all on the 20th is when we always
Yes. She drops those, but we won't drop it. We won't drop that one. We'll drop
right
whatever
because
we
that
do.
one's going to be on June
Yeah.
20th. But yeah,
Okay.
every 20th we
you
drop
drop.
the podcast.
Oh, okay.
The podcast
Okay.
drop on the
What
20th.
we're doing right
yeah.
now, you'll hear this on
You'll
the 20th.
hear this on June 20th.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever we do, and the next Living Your Best Life will drop on July 20th.
But that we can do a special edition.
If y'all could
we
do
do
That's
it
what I'm
that
saying.
day,
I'm thinking we could
then
do a
cut it
special
up, and then
edition.
we'll
That's
just,
what I'm thinking.
We'll drop it out. And we
Yeah.
can do what we can do for that. We can do video. We can do audio.
Yeah,
And we can
have a
definitely do
fun day
something.
of it if you
Yeah,
like,
man.
because the musicians will come, so
Yeah.
you'll have.
I would love to do
And
that.
I
Yeah,
literally-
That would be,
that'll get us.
that would be
that'll
amazing.
Be a little different
Yes.
spin. Greg,
Yeah.
you're killing us right now.
I
No,
know.
seriously,
You know what I mean?
because
See, look at him. Look at him. He's still working right now.
Because he's a
Look at
communicator,
this,
he's
right?
a telecommunications.
But I'm looking at
he's a
what's going
connector.
on
But he's
here.
still working, even right now while
Absolutely.
we're doing this
But
podcast.
imagine the value add for the musicians. 'Cause we did it one year with the West Orange SoPac,
Okay.
and that's in
Yeah.
September. And I just had Chelsea walking up to people,
Yep.
and then I forgot who joined her. DJ Rock, I think it was.
Okay.
And they went up to each musician.
And just
Still in the can because I got the videos up in Google Photos. I haven't gotten them all together
Yeah,
and put them
man.
out. But I looked at all you're doing here and I said, well, it'd get out a lot sooner than me doing it 2 years ago.
Greg,
But you would have a ball.
But like
Seriously.
you-
we would have a ball.
We can make a space,
Yeah.
everything, and
one of the
put
things
up a tent.
we are creative types.
Yeah.
And so, my wife, as much as you know me on the musician side, I just wrote my first book. I'm getting ready to drop a novel.
Really?
She has wrote many books. She's a playwright. She writes song lyrics.
Where the hell you get
She
time
just dropped
to
her
write?
first.
Well,
I did her first album on her finally.
Yeah,
I've
finally.
done 4 of my own. Finally got
Yeah,
her to do her
finally.
own.
Wow.
Where do I get the time?
We're creative, man.
To me, time is
What you make it.
irrelevant.
Mhm.
Really,
Okay, okay.
Basically, I think what's stuck in my mind is that I grew up with my mom always telling us that what's that phrase? An idle mind is the devil's
Yes,
workshop.
I remember well, yes.
So I always felt like I needed to be doing something. It's a curse.
It is.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Because I and all of us in this house
yeah.
are the same way. I can't see myself not being productive in some way.
Yeah, drives me
I have
crazy.
to be doing
Yeah,
something.
Yeah.
And then she met
Yeah.
me, and when she met me, bro, I was my ball stayed in the back of the car. my drumsticks be in my back pocket. I was DJing. I was hustling.
Yeah, he was
And
doing a
so,
lot of things. I was
we-
only writing back then, but he
Yeah.
was the one doing all kinds
But
of things. you
so
know.
that creative thing hit amongst us, and you see my son, he's got it. My
Oh, yeah, he
daughter's got her
definitely
own
got it, yeah.
hiking company. So she's out in the wilderness doing her thing. Grandson trying to be an entrepreneur. He's trying to be like the next, Carl Kanai and
nice.
Hilfiger and all
Very
that,
nice. Very nice.
So everybody's got this kind of energy around them where none of us just sitting home, sitting at the TV, just sitting there looking at the TV. We all got some sort of creative energy going.
Yeah.
And we feed off each
It's
other.
difficult for me to be idle.
Yeah.
It's just, even
And
I find
her.
myself, even at work, I feel like I don't do enough at work because my mind needs to be
Can be
engaged
doing
at
other
all
things,
times,
yeah.
right?
Let me tell you the great story.
So,
This is the one we always kill her with. It was my birthday.
Okay.
And old girl, it's your birthday. You just want to hang out and just chill. She put together a week itinerary. We had an itinerary for every day.
Oh, goodness.
Boy, by the time we got to day 3, we told her, enough. Stop.
okay, you know
Enough.
what? There was a theme going on. First of all, he was saying that he wished he was on a cruise.
Okay.
He said he
Okay.
wished he was on a 7-day cruise.
Yeah, so that's what she did.
And I knew we wasn't going on no 7-day cruise.
Right.
So, and 7 is his, 7 is his number.
It's my birthday. It's
So-
my power number.
Because I'm a creative person, I put together a 7-day
Day itinerary.
itinerary.
7 days.
For 7 days, we were going to
I
act
love it.
like
we was
were,
home.
But it didn't
7
matter that we was
days.
home. It didn't matter that we was home.
By day 3, we looked at her. It's like,
because
enough.
I'm also theatrical because I'm drunk.
okay,
This
okay.
was a theatrical thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
No,
I'm all about
it was cool.
the drama.
It was definitely cool.
And they just didn't appreciate.
They
We didn't see your
wimped
vision.
out on you.
They just didn't. But they
We made
lasted.
it 3 days.
No, y'all went past the 3. Y'all went to
Well,
every
we did
day.
a couple. Yeah, we did things on the other. But
I mean,
we didn't
they-
do the whole. After the 3rd day, we stopped doing the full itinerary.
But they pretty much
cherry-picked after
they
that.
indulged me.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Because I
Good.
put a lot of work into
Yeah, I
that.
know. It would have to be, yeah.
And so my daughter, Kiana, made sure that y'all followed suit because she knew how much work
Yeah,
I put
went
into
into
that.
it. That's a
And I was
lot.
doing that for him.
yeah.
He was turning 60, so this was a big birthday.
Yeah.
I just was trying. I like I like to make memories. There was that
life
other
is.
quote that I just saw that and it made me think of that. It's like, it's better to. Oh, one of my coworkers told me this. It's better to have memories than dreams. Okay, so you wanted to go on a 7-day
Right,
cruise.
right.
That was a dream. We wasn't doing that, but I wanted to give you something that you can. And even now, you're
Still remember.
You're
That's
still
right.
coming
It's a
back to
great
this because you
memory.
have a
Oh, yeah.
memory.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
The memory
That will
of what I
never
tried
leave.
to do that day,
Yeah.
that week, will stay with you. It will stay with the kids. It's better to
That's
have memories
that's
than it is
intense.
to have
I love
dreams.
it. Yeah,
Yes.
it really is.
And I
love
like
it.
to make memories.
Memory is action. That's
Yeah,
what I
you
love.
have to.
Yeah, you
Yes.
gotta
You
make
can't
it real.
go through this life and just exist. You have to be an active participant. Now
Yeah.
that don't mean you go out every day and you wild out, but it's just what you said. You want to be able to sit back and reflect because there may come a time when the body is broke down and you won't have the ability to go out and do the things you want to do.
And we learned
And then
that a
you're gonna
lot
lean
more
on
now.
those memories that you
Yep.
have. So if you ain't creating those memories, you're gonna
They're
get to
not
that
gonna
point
happen.
you broke down and you're just gonna be broke down.
Yeah.
and you're
No.
gonna be mad
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
So we
No, yeah.
because you
we
ain't do
wild out.
nothing.
No, you got to use your time
Right.
properly.
And
Right.
this is why we're living our best life.
So, honey, I think we have crossed over that
You done?
1 hour and 8-minute mark.
Oh,
So
wow.
Okay, we're
I
good.
think we should,
Yes,
some
yes.
parting shots. So,
Absolutely.
Greg, I just can't tell you. I really mean what I said when I started this app. You do so much, and you got so many irons in the fire. It's hard to nail you down. So we really wanted to get you in here to have a
Yes.
talk about you because we wanted to hear, your early start, your career, and then what got you heavy into this music thing. And I think we've been able to really peel back some of those layers for the folks that think they know you. When they hear this, they're going to hear things about you that they don't know. Okay, which I think is great. And my message to you is, amen. Keep doing what you're doing because you are the champion from the musician side. You are the champion out there. You know what I mean? And I do love what you said about those hard choices. Hey, bands just got to understand. Sometimes you just not, there's levels to this, If you're on top of the food chain, you're going to live good. You're going to eat well. If you're in the middle, you ain't going to be that bad. But if you're on the bottom, you got to work harder to
it's
work
tough,
your way
yeah.
up the ladder. And people have to understand that. I don't take it as a slight. I don't ever get upset about it. because what you do is when you need us, you pick the phone up, you give us a call, and we try to come out and deliver for you. So my message to you is keep going, keep the family going, and enjoy those years that you have with Carter, because Carter going to turn your life around.
Oh, yeah.
He's
already
that
turning
new energy into the house, because kids bring energy that old folks don't have. That's what kids do for you.
Thank you.
So I just want to thank you for being a part of this, and I look forward to some of the commentary that folks will give us on the back end of this. Honey, what do you want to say?
I want to thank you for sitting down with us as well too. One of the things that happens with people who do so much, like yourself, and even like me, we're always doing for other people, because our desire and what makes us happy is to see other people,
yes,
doing what they love and living their best life. But what that simply means sometimes is that we never get a chance to really bring our full self, because our full self to us is making sure we're bringing out in everybody else the best that they can be. So I love giving individuals like yourself an opportunity to show your full self, because it's a thankless job sometimes. The way you run around and do as much as you do, it is thankless sometimes. And I wanted to have an opportunity to thank you, because I met you because I was going out to these events that Flip the Script was playing at, and then I got to know you. I got to see you at every event, and now I feel like we're family, and that's how it happens. So this is my way of saying, thank you for bringing the music to Orange, into some of the other places where we can. I remember one day Naomi was even out there at Bethea Park dancing away, because she loves to dance. It gives an opportunity for individuals who have never had the experience to have the experience, and that's a good thing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Today is, where we're at now. This may not drop till the 20th, but you must have some upcoming things on your brain that you might want to just spit out, any things that you have going on that you got going on.
I would say we got a couple of things coming up that are pretty good. Okay. One is, we started the Friday afternoons at South Valley.
Okay.
Friday evening, so we're doing that in the evening.
Because you were doing Sundays.
I was doing Sundays for the brunch.
Oh, so now you're going to do it
on
Fridays.
Now we're doing Friday. We're starting Friday, but it'll be free entry the whole bit, so it'll be good. In terms of bigger things that are coming up, there's in September, there'll be the West Orange Jazz Festival at ISPAC.
Okay.
Working backwards, we'll be doing a NJ-PAC Jazz Across Newark crawl.
Whoa.
And that'll happen during Newark Arts Week in October.
Okay.
And then I'm always doing the Clements stuff, so we got a number of the Clements events that are going across.
We went and saw the Suzanne, what was her
Douglas,
name?
I think her last
name.
name.
She passed away.
Oh, yeah, she passed away.
We saw that show. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and then the one I'm inviting you to come on out, the Food Truck and Jazz Festival in Orange.
I think you done already sealed the deal on that.
So hopefully you got some banners and whatnot, because we want to publicize that. I got some good photographers coming and all of that.
We going to be there.
I'll be hitting you up for some details.
We definitely going to make that.
And then there's a big one coming up that a lot of people don't know about, called North to Shore.
No, we've seen that.
The end of this month,
Yes.
So I did the grant writing and all of that at 3 in the freaking morning, and I don't want to do this, but, I was encouraged to do it. So we'll be hosting a week of music at Clements Place.
Okay.
Because he's giving me backline and sound. And
but now, just explain a little bit, because it's also going down the shore and it's coming up north. So explain that so folks can understand.
Yeah. What they're doing is like a South by Southwest, but for all of Jersey. So it's art and theater and all of that. They do it in 3 states. So Asbury Park, Atlantic City, and Newark.
Okay.
And they do like 50, 60 or more events in each one.
Okay.
So and then what they did was, when you applied, they have official selections, which we are, and then other people can join in if they want. And then they're building, like in Newark, right across from Clements in Harriet Tubman Park.
Yes.
They're going to have a stage there for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the final week of June. So it's week 1, week 2, week 3.
Okay.
And then they have like a good 30, 40 bands that'll be running across the stage.
Okay.
We're going to miss that.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be in Philly.
Okay.
For the RA.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a pretty big deal that they're doing.
Yeah.
So literally, NJ-PAC is helping with running it. They go down to Atlantic City. They stay down there for the week. Then they come to Asbury Park. So it sells a lot of stuff.
You see why I have this man here?
Yeah.
Do you see where his fingers and his tentacles are plugged into?
We're trying.
And he's sitting in my house chilling to deliver this message to you.
Very happy.
You need to look up. I want you shout out your productions. Tell them how they can find you.
You can find more about Gregory Burrus Productions at GregoryBurrusProductions.com.
And you might want to spell that because people don't know how to spell their own names.
That's Richard Gregory, Gregory, Burrus, Burrus, and Productions, Productions.com.
Okay.
Very good.
Any parting shots you want to send out to the universe?
Well, one thing I want to do is just say thank you to you two guys, because I know if I didn't show up this time, she was going to call me names that I couldn't take.
No, I wasn't.
I know he would.
No,
I could beat him up with, because he is a giant fan.
No, I wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
Nah, he sort of slipped. He goes, Karoline wants to know, is he really going to show up or not? And I said, I could hear her saying that right now.
That was at the show.
She's a serious one. Yeah, exactly.
That was at the
I immediately said to him, so get your calendar out. Which date can I come up? What about the reason he did 10? Because she said to me earlier, I don't know why he did today, not tomorrow. My wife was away today.
Okay.
And Mondays I usually am home.
Okay.
So I said, I know I can make it. I know I can do it.
When he knows I have Naomi until like 6 o'clock.
That was my fault, because I was in there and I think, come on, give me a date. I'll take it.
Exactly.
And we will take it.
Yeah. So no, thank you very much. This is very, very cool.
You got to know, I'm a businesswoman too.
Right.
So I'm out here trying to make these podcasts happen. I got 4 different podcasts and I'm trying to get people on.
Well, now that I know what's going on,
I have a podcast tomorrow.
I will help you with the production and promotion, and also I'm glad you're coming, and July's going to be big fun. But thank you very much for this. This was very nice. I like what you guys are doing. Right. I get the word out, and people just think you're a drum in the back of the band talking trash to people. Little did they know.
Listen, the term I like to use for myself, I like to use that classic old term. I'm a Renaissance
man,
you
go. There you go.
What you
I
see
think
on
I'm
the
pretty
surface,
Renaissance too.
But they don't use that term for women.
Don't they not?
Y'all got to come up with what they use for women.
Well, what do they come up for women?
They would say more like you're like Camelot. Like you know,
Camelot.
You envision the things of Camelot. You know what I mean?
Really?
Think of Jackie Onassis. And how
I don't like it either.
You know
I don't.
Wait.
I don't think it fits.
Then you come up with your own, because Renaissance is for real. I'm trying to help you out.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but
we're gonna figure it out.
I know.
But it is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Concept.
You don't ever hear them say that about women.
No, you don't.
What I'm trying to say.
No.
So
and they should, because I wear so many hats.
But no, I'm saying you need to have your own. You don't want to be lumped in with us.
You'd want to be your own, because it's more of a mistake. Otherwise, you're going to be the guy on the TV with a beer can.
No.
It's not a slight or a diss.
It's not. And I'm not taking it as one. I just know that I am a businesswoman too.
Absolutely.
And I am doing all these things also. And it is, unfortunately, people either see me one way or the other.
Of course.
Everybody who knows me as Dr. Karoline Bethea-Jones sees me as this, theologian or minister, Karoline Bethea-Jones, because I am that as well. And then you got the ones who know me as an author. We'll be doing our author podcast tomorrow.
Okay.
And then you got the ones who knows that I do the drama. They know that I'm a director of a nonprofit organization for women's empowerment. So I have so many.
Which group is the Women's Empowerment? What's the name of it?
Oh, it's called Helping Sisters in Christ Ministry.
Oh, really?
And we will be celebrating our 30th year in January.
Okay. No, I've been trying to put forth a lot more women bands, women-led, not even women-led, woman band, or if the proper word today is female band, I don't know, because everybody gets mad, whatever word you use.
I am a little upset, because you did have one band at the church you do in Millburn. And there's a drummer you had.
Camille?
Who I loved. I know Camille. Camille's my homegirl.
Really?
I was a drum tech one time at Blue Note.
Really?
If I would have walked in that door, she would have fell off the stage.
All I can tell you is...
So if she's coming back, I'll be there.
Marla Waldron said, I got somebody. We're sitting there. It's a church, so it's a small church. We're just sort of sitting there. And you could tell she was just riding. People just thought, she was like, whoa.
Camille is bad.
She was like, whoa.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
her husband passed away. It broke my heart. Camille is good people. We spoke earlier about the Pocket Queen. So before there was a Pocket Queen, Camille was the Pocket Queen. And then when I saw this young lady pop up, I'm like, yo, there she is.
Yeah, no, Camille's very good. So
that's
some good stuff.
Yeah, man. That's like sister girl right there.
Okay, I gotta think about that, because I'm looking for some different support. Because I'm doing females don't get on stage as much as the men, as you know, because the stage is loaded.
Well,
so I'm always.
I ain't got no band, so.
You don't have to. We can figure out how to make something work between the two of us.
I ain't got no female band, so you know what I mean. You know.
But keep politicking. All right, honey.
We're gonna keep politicking.
Take it home.
But you've been listening to the Real Talk, Real People podcast network. But this particular podcast is Living Your Best Life with Karoline and AJ.
Yay, yay.
And our special guest this evening.
Clap it up.
Yes, our special Gregory Burrus. That's our special guest. And we're so happy to have him here. And you're going to be very excited to hear this podcast. But as I say at the end of every podcast, if you would like to be on this podcast with AJ and I to tell the whole world how you live your best life, we want to have you. I'm not even going to attempt to tell you where you need to send your information. It's going to be in the comments field. That's all I'm going to say. Because
click the link in the description.
Just click the link. Okay? But in the meantime, you keep living your best life because we're going to keep living ours. So, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Outstanding.